We're going to make a really quick and easy millet chickpea vegetable salad. This is a great way to use leftovers when you have them. If you don't have leftover millet, you can use leftover brown rice or some other leftover grain. It's best for these kinds of grain salads if the grain is fluffy like this rather than clumpy, like let's say pressure cooked rice, for example. In my experience, doesn't make the best grain salads. It's too sticky and clumped together. So any grain that you've cooked up light and fluffy, it makes a grain salad. So this is going to have the leftover millet, leftover cooked chickpeas. You could use some other bean, lentils or red beans or black beans, whatever. Or if you don't have any leftover cooked beans, then you can use some organic cooked beans out of a can. Those will work too. And we're going to have some red onions chopped, some yellow corn. These are all leftover lightly cooked vegetables. Green peas, chopped carrots, and if you have some leftover cooked chopped burdock. If you don't have these particular vegetables, you can use those that you do have. It's really open to your own creativity. So we're going to put all of those in a bowl together and mix them up. Then we're going to make a dressing to go over the salad. That is going to include some tahini and some umeboshi plum. If you don't have umeboshi, you can use lemon juice or red wine vinegar or some type of tangy tasting ingredient. And we're going to use some chopped fresh red onion. This is all going to go in, be blended together into the dressing with some water. And at the end, when we've plated everything, we're going to garnish it with some chopped fresh parsley. We're going to start out by making our millet and chickpea salad dressing. And you could put all of these ingredients, the tahini and the raw onion and the umeboshi plum and the water, in a grinding bowl like the suribachi, if you have one, and grind it until it's all creamy. And that's one way to do it. But today we're talking about quick, making things faster. And so instead of using a suribachi, we are going to use a little blender. If you have a big blender, you can use that, but it's not a lot of volume that we're going to be making here with this dressing. So if you have a smaller one that you use sometimes, you can use it instead of a big one. So we're going to start out by putting in our tahini. This is about 2 tablespoons of tahini. This is actually some homemade tahini that I made, but any kind of tahini will be fine. Next, the raw onion. And now our umeboshi, as I said earlier, we're going to start out by making our millet and chickpea salad dressing. And you could put all of these ingredients, the tahini and the raw onion and the umeboshi plum and the water, in a grinding bowl like the suribachi, if you have one, and grind it until it's all creamy. And that's one way to do it. But today we're talking about quick, making things faster. And so instead of using a suribachi, we are going to use a little blender. If you have a big blender, you can use that, but it's not a lot of volume that we're going to be making here with this dressing. So if you have a smaller one that you use sometimes, you can use it instead of a big one. So we're going to start out by putting in our tahini. This is about 2 tablespoons of tahini. This is actually some homemade tahini that I made, but any kind of tahini will be fine. Next, the raw onion. Next, we're going to use our umeboshi plum. Now, if you don't have umeboshi, you could use umeboshi vinegar or ume vinegar. If you don't have that, you can just use lemon juice or brown rice vinegar or some other kind of good quality vinegar. If you don't use umeboshi or umeboshi vinegar, they both have salt in them. So if you don't use them, if you use some kind of rice vinegar or other vinegar or lemon juice, then you want to add a little sea salt to this dressing as you're blending it. But since the umeboshi already is salted, pickled, we don't need to add any salt. So we're going to take out the pits of these ume plums. Those will not grind up into a very nice texture. We take those out and save them. You can use them for other things. Make sure I get everything there. Set that aside. Now we want to take our water. We have about 3 cups of water here. 3/4 cups, sorry. We're going to blend it. Until everything is nice and creamy. If some of your ingredients sit in the top, just mix it up a little bit. You may have done this before, but tahini can get stuck. And you want it all into the liquid so it gets creamier. And that's done. Our dressing is going to be ready for our salad. Let's put together our salad ingredients now in a bowl. This isn't the bowl I'm going to serve it in, but I like a nice big bowl while I'm mixing things, so I don't have to worry about when I'm stirring everything goes over the sides. I'm a big bowl person. Next, about 1 cup of cooked chickpeas. And when you're stirring cooked grain, you want to slice at it or cut at it more than mash at it like this. That can mash it up. You don't really want it mashed up. Next, we're going to put the red onion, and followed by corn. You can use any sequence you want. The peas, carrots. You could use raw vegetables in this recipe, but actually I like vegetables that are slightly cooked for this rather than raw. And the burdock. Mix it all up. Nice, beautiful colors. And now we're going to add our dressing. It doesn't matter if it seems a little bit liquidy, because the grain is going to soak most of that up. We pour that in like so. And now we mix it. And it just kind of disappears into the salad. And there it is. We're going to serve it now. So now we're going to serve our millet chickpea vegetable salad in this nice bowl. It makes it easier to serve when it's open rather than a deeper bowl like the one I mixed it in here. We get as much of it out as we can. I can always hear my teacher's voice, Cornelia, saying, "No wasting, David, no wasting." So we spread it out. And now we're going to garnish it with some parsley. And there we have it, our millet chickpea vegetable salad. Please enjoy.